Welcome to the Shergroup podcast, where we share ideas on how to help businesses grow and prosper in the online world. Join host, Chief Shergroup Claire Sambrook as she discusses her digital journey and how Shergroup is helping thousands to keep their business flowing and growing. Here on the Shergroup podcast.
So, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I hope that you are in a good place. Happy Thursday. Only one more day to the weekend. I bet everyone's counting down to that. So welcome to this next show group on the sofa, where I'm joined with my friend and colleague, Craig Martin from BNI. Now, as we always do in this segment, we always have a little shout out to our number one fan. So, hey, Rossi Saunders, we're calling you from Orlando today. So how are you doing out there? Craig, did you want to say hello to Ross?
Hi, Ross. Hi, Ross. I've heard a lot about you. I hear you're quite the avid soccer fan.
He is. He supports Norwich City, but he's confessed he knows nothing about English soccer, so we're not going to put him on the spot about that.
I'm sorry.
That we'll let you off that one, Craig. We'll let you off. So, okay, well, we're going to talk about a very important topic. As somebody that has emigrated to the States and built a business here and family here, I can tell you that we're going to talk about the very important topic of insurance. And we have an insurance expert with us today in Craig. So, Craig, you can't move in this wonderful country of yours without insurance. We both know that, and we've had our conversations about that. And I wanted to really showcase your expertise on this subject, which you make seem very easy to follow. I wouldn't say it's easy, but you make it easy to follow. And for those of you that are thinking of moving to Florida or are thinking of moving country and setting up business here in Orlando, then I would say that Greg is a great point person to contact and come and talk about all things insurance. So now you and I met through our wonderful BNI Chapter County Line.
We did.
You are an ambassador for that chapter. You know that, right?
Well, thank you.
I think membership sent me to meet you, first of all, so you could explain to me about BNI in the United States. Do you remember that when we first met?
I do.
And you did a great job in convincing me that County Line Connections was the one to choose out of all the Florida chapters. But I have to say, I came to your office in Hamlin and met you and just was... I felt so comfortable talking to you about insurance and all the things that you've got going on in your business. So how did you get into the insurance business and why? Why did you do it?
Sure. That's a great question, Claire. And just for the record, I didn't wake up one morning saying, hey, I think I want to be a State Farm agent today. Yeah, that was the farthest thing from my mind. What I did know about myself is that I studied finance in college, so I enjoy numbers. I enjoy that aspect of it. But what I really enjoy more is just helping people. And so I didn't know if that meant being a firefighter or a dentist or maybe an EMT, but I just knew that I needed to find purpose and fulfillment in my life long term, helping people, and whether it be a coach or a teacher, that was really kind of the thing that was driving me. And then I'm a type of individual that I love to continually learn. So I get bored very easy, which is not good for me if I'm bored. And so I like to continue to learn and study and look for ways that I can help educate and teach people ways that can benefit their lives. And so when I was first approached about the insurance business, I said, no, I don't think that's for me. And luckily, the individual that was trying to help me understand what the insurance business was about, luckily for me, he was persistent. he was a great coach of mine. And luckily, when I opened my mind to what he did, I was really able to see how he had an impact on people's lives. And that's really kind of what got me to where I am today.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand that, because having a mentor fairly early on in your career who encourages you and kind of sets out a path for you. I was lucky enough to have that, and it does help, doesn't it? You know, if you can see somebody ahead of you and really sees that in you yourself. I think that's great that somebody saw that in you, that helping people, because that is the essence of you. Even though you're plastered all over the seats of the on the State 50, on Road State 50, your advertising is great. I love that. But you know, that essence of you is all about helping people, which comes through in so many facets of your life. I know that. So I think that's tremendous. Now you've got your State Farm agency, right? So that's your umbrella insurance.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
And tell me about your team, because you've got a lovely team at your office in Hamlin. Tell me about
Well, thank you. And I'll tell you, and this is really the piece of my life that I'm very so proud of, because this team goes every day with really a servant heart. That they share the same type of passion that I have in terms of serving people and helping people. And so I have a team of 7 full-time individuals and then 1 part-time person. And each of us, while we have a main goal in terms of serving our customers, we have different responsibilities and different levels of expertise and different licensing statuses in terms of which we help people. But I'm very, very proud of this team, because they make my life much, much easier with the quality work that they do. And so I'm very, very fortunate to be able to work with them.
Yeah, it makes a hell of a difference, doesn't it, when you develop a team of people behind you? And
absolutely,
you know, and I've of course come along to your offices in Hamlin, and I think one of your front of house ladies, her dad is from Essex, which is where my husband is from. So it's a small world, you know.
It is.
You think, oh, it's America and it's a long way away, and then you walk in and, sure, yeah, my dad's from Essex. So I was like, okay, who knew? So I think that's great. They're very, very friendly team of people, and you can just see when you walk in, which is so nice, that it's so well organized, and all that branding. I love the branding of your office and how it shines through, which makes a great environment for you know, for your visitors, and of course your overall service. So I mean, I can see that. I'm a customer of yours, me and my husband, and so I see that when I walk in. But what makes your agency unique? Because insurance is like, you know, there's a lot going on in insurance. I'm sure you have some healthy competition out there in Orlando. So what makes your agency different?
So I would just simply say, you know, people have a wide variety of choices today with insurance, obviously. So there's no shortage of that. So I would just simply say, you know, we really strive to step up our game in terms of the relationship piece. So, you know, anybody can pick up the phone, call a 1-800 number, get insurance. But again, I've always said, getting a good deal on the wrong insurance, it's not a good deal. And so by us having that relationship on the front end, getting to know our customers in terms of what their concerns are, what their financial goals are, everybody has different concerns, objectives, at-risk assets, income. These are all things that are very, very important when it comes to claim time. And so the amount of time and effort and energy we invest on the front end helps us deliver a much better relationship and a much better product on the back end. And that's what I would say really makes us unique or makes us different is I've had clients that have been buying insurance for, 20, 30 years that have come to us and said, I've never had anybody ask me these questions. And at first they're a little kind of taken off, like, why do you need to know that? And so once I explain to them the whys, they understand this. And like, I can't believe that I've been buying insurance for 20 years from someone else, and nobody's ever taken the time to explain this to me.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of what we do and take pride in terms of serving customers.
Yeah. Well, I just want to fully endorse your approach, because, as you know, I'm always whizzing around. You're trying to pin me down is not easy. And insurance is, well, let's just say it's not top of my list of priorities.
No.
But it is very important here. And, just having, I don't think I worry so much about going out in the car, although probably my husband does, but I don't worry about it because I know if I had a prang, I'd be able to ring you and your team. And, I've got my coverage all sorted out. And you'll be pleased to know I got my Florida driving license this week.
Yay!
I passed my written test. I got my driving license. For those of you that don't know, you can't really move around in Florida if you're going to live here without a Florida driving license. That is your ID, and you need to get that. So if you're thinking about emigrating to America, you need to get a Florida driving test. That's where your state you're going to end up in, and a driving license. And I've been driving on my British, which I'm allowed to do for a little while, but then that runs out. So I'm telling my insurer now I've got my Florida driving license in place. So I can definitely vouch for everything that you've just said. And that's really why I wanted to do this session with you, because I know how good you are and how good your agency is. So it's a pleasure for me to talk about that. But what else do you do outside of your auto and home insurance lines? What other insurance do you do?
Sure. So under the umbrella of coverages and companies that we work with, we do small businesses primarily. Believe it or not, we do pet insurance. This is a big market for a lot of families. Their pets are their family member, and so we do pet insurance. We have we do mortgages. We do checking, savings accounts. We do a lot of things.
Yeah, I know. And people can find out about all of this from contacting you. What do they do? Do they make an appointment to come down and see you, or do you want the inquiry through the website? How do you want people to reach out to you?
Sure. I'm a people person, so I love to meet people personally and get to know them a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, if they want to schedule a phone appointment, if they want to come in person, if they just want to send me an email, whatever's convenient for them. So our phones do get answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not by me that entire time.
No,
but
really? You don't do that 24
No,
hours?
I sleep. I do sleep once in a while, but they can call or text in to that main number.
Yeah.
Pretty much around the clock, and we'll get back to them.
Yeah. Well, as I say, you do have a lovely team, and it's so nice. I know within BNI there's competition for insurance, but
there is.
I was blessed that the membership committee put me in your safe hands when I was making my choice. So obviously I met you first, and of course there's a whole this broadcast goes out to people who are not part of BNI and across Orlando. So I want to make sure you get the biggest coverage. Just another channel for you and your lovely team. So now, like me, you've been doing this a long time. How long have you been doing insurance? Go on, tell us.
It's crazy to think about this because it doesn't seem this long, but it's been 3 decades, 30 years.
30 years.
So
yeah, get less for murder. That's what people say to me. So it is a long time, but if you enjoy what you do, and you clearly do, you're just a walking, talking insurance advert for helping people, not insurance for insurance sake, but for helping people. And you clearly enjoy it. And that comes through in your advice, which again, I would encourage people to sit down with you and talk about their insurance arrangements, because you will have a different take on it, and you'll if they're in your office, they'll get the whiteboard treatment, won't they? You'll put it up.
They will.
I like that. So,
people are smart. They can make the best decisions for themselves. My job is just simply give them the information, explain it, to an understanding, and then get out of the way and let them make the decision that's best for them. So that's really.
I get that, but you have, I mean, your client base, I mean, it goes from, regular people to sort of senior execs in and around Orlando. I mean, you have a broad church, don't you, of people that you look after. It's not any particular segment of people. That's what I'm reading.
Correct. So, I mean, I have, I have individuals that are, they're driving a car for the very first time. And so we do a new driver orientation. It's about a 20-minute meeting that I have that hopefully just reinforces all the same things that the parents have been reinforcing all the way to retirees. So business owners, individuals, families, those are all the different types of people that we love to cater to.
Well, I've got a couple of referrals coming out of this show group on the sofa for you. My daughter's moving to Orlando with 2 pedigree British blue cats. So I'll be talking to you about insurance. And then my son is doing his driving permit and he will need first time insurance. So I'll be talking to you about that as well. So there you go. A couple.
Wonderful.
So you've got a broad church. Have you got an ideal client? I mean, is there anybody that kind of, you in your ethos to help people? Who's your
I mean, the ideal client for me is really the one that values the relationship, one that is open to high quality advice, one that wants a good understanding of their coverages. I don't want people paying for coverages that they don't need, right? Nor on the other hand, do I want them having major gaps or holes in coverage that when there is a claim, they're left with a big bill. Yeah. And so that's a balancing act in terms of, having these conversations with customers and helping them understand these different endorsements and coverages and how this would apply, and then letting them make the decision for that. So I don't know that I really have, there's not like a, other than that, just in terms of them wanting a relationship and having a willingness, to once or twice, once a year, maybe once every other year, invest 30 to 45 minutes with me. That's really what can help me help them.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. See, I get to see you and other people, that I work with every week. So I never feel like I have a gap on my insurance again, as long as you keep going. You've got to do at least another 10 years. And I think that point about the gaps in the insurance, I mean, Florida, a state that, we have hurricanes here, we have tornadoes here, we can have flooding here. And you have pointed that out to me when I've been talking to you, and you just don't want those. I mean, you show at your feature presentation, don't you, some of the before and after pictures and the values of the claims. Some of it's a bit scary, right?
Well, it's things that we don't, obviously it's not fun thinking about these things.
No.
But the reality of it is that these things happen. And so the best we can do is prepare.
Yeah. And
just have a good understanding of how this can play out financially, and just to do the best we can to manage around that. We don't need to insure every little thing that we have, but we really need to protect the things that we can't afford to lose financially.
Yeah. And
so that's where the insurance comes into play.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's important, and just being able to not sleep at night because it doesn't keep me awake, but just knowing that if, there was a hurricane like Irma came through and, the roof was damaged in some way, we could, your phone is going to be ringing off the wall if that happens again, right? But, your team, but that you've got a team of people that you can talk to, and they know you, so they understand what it is that is happening, and perhaps there's an urgency around it, business interruption, a lot of people working from home now. So, we all kind of want to get on with our businesses. We don't want anything like hurricanes interrupting our businesses from home.
It's not fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I think that's a great aspect of what you do, understanding your customers and your client. Do you call them clients or customers? Which do you prefer?
I mean, primarily customers, we call them, but
I like customers.
Yeah,
because I think we're all customers of something.
Yeah.
I think we treat customers better than we do clients. I don't know why. It's just now. So we're in BNI and we talk about referrals. What is a good referral source for you? Because I hope people across, BNI will be watching this segment in some shape or form. And tell us, what is a good ideal referral source for you?
Well, our best referral source comes from happy customers just like you. So that is by far our best referral source. From a occupation or from an industry perspective, realtors are very, very knowledgeable, obviously, in the real estate market and what they need for closing and home insurance and all these different types of things. So realtors are a great referral source for us. Mortgage brokers are a wonderful referral source for us as well, because as they're securing all the financials in preparation for that closing, they will typically help the new homeowner secure insurance as well. And so those are wonderful referral sources for us.
Yes, I mean, we just closed on a new property, as you know, and we were able to come to. I mean, you sorted that out in under 24 hours. Our coverages, and we have a pond at the back of our house, and part of that pond came up as flood warning, didn't it? Not the whole house, just the corner of the house, which the mortgage lender, and that was done through our lovely colleague, Lisette Palazzo, and shout out to Tricia Embry as well, who is my realtor, and Steve Morrison, who did my home inspection report. I usually use the BNI chapter. But that little bit of corner, you took care of that in terms of flood insurance, didn't you?
Correct. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Even though my husband was pretty sure we're never going to be flooded, it was a condition of the mortgage, so we needed to turn on a sixpence, and your agency turned that around. So what I would say to anyone watching this segment of Shergroup on the Sofa is, if you have an insurance broker, but you don't really know what's happening on your insurance front, and you cover Florida. Do you go outside of Florida, or is it Florida your home state?
Yeah, Florida would be the state that I would work in specifically. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is that the whole length and breadth of the state, or particularly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have clients. We have clients in the Panhandle. We have clients in the Keys, and we have clients really anywhere in between.
Anywhere in between. Fantastic. So that's the whole length and breadth of Florida. So if you're watching this, and perhaps you're a property manager, again, you've got different people in your community who are not sure about insurance. Maybe you're not sure. Then I do endorse Craig and his agency, and because I've experienced everything I need from an insurance broker on my personal lines of insurance, and it's been a weight off my mind, and that's what insurance should be, really. So when you help somebody, that's what you want, isn't it? You want them to sleep at night knowing that they haven't got any gaps in their insurance, which I guess is the outcome that you look for with all your customers. Yeah,
that's definitely the objective. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know for sure. Life isn't always. There's a few curveballs in there with your game, and I'm sure you get. What's the best outcome you've had for a customer? One where you felt particularly proud of you and your agency.
Sure. Anytime there's a claim, it's a very emotionally. It's a scary time, and people, there's a financial aspect to this, and gosh, if there's some injuries in an auto accident, that brings on a whole nother element of concern and whatnot. But I would just simply say that from my perspective, while I never like seeing bad things happen to good people, it does provide me some peace of mind and comfort being able to say, number one, I'm very, very sorry you're going through this. But number two, it's going to be okay. And to try to hold their hand through this process and help them understand that, while we're dealing with various bills from the emergency room or the auto body repair shop or whatnot, that we're gonna, we're gonna get through this together.
Yeah. Well, that's what you want from an insurer. And as the world becomes more and more online, and I fully support that, in my own business, it is actually, this is one area of business which actually that personal relationship, hand-holding, knowing somebody is really important, when life does chuck you a curveball and you just need to get through it. How nice is that you've got somebody in your corner who understands your position. So thank you for that, Craig. That's a great way to end. And I know that, that you this is how you live your life. And we're very grateful to have you in the chapter and for all that you do. That ambassadorial work is a great, great contribution. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Claire. And I very, very much appreciate you and Stephen. And it's just been a pleasure getting to know you. And
thank you.
I am very, very grateful for all that you do.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, for those of you that now, how do people get in touch with you? You've got, I'm going to put in the show notes your website, social media. I know, you're getting into all that, aren't you? How do you want people to contact you? By phone?
Whatever's easier for them. So my email address is very, very simple. It's craig@craigmartininsurance.com.
Yeah.
So you can reach out to me personally there.
Yeah.
You can also contact me through the website, which is craigmartininsurance.com. Or then you can call me as well. And that number is 407-656-1040.
Okay. Well, we'll put that in the notes, but craigmartininsurance.com. So nice to have your name in the domain name. I love that. I didn't go that far with my name, but it gets used anyway on Google, so I'm good. But I'm so pleased to hear you say that, and we'll put all that good information in the end, in the show notes at the bottom, and give you a copy of this to use on your social media.
Sounds great.
You're welcome. So for everyone, insurance, you might not want it, you might not want to pay the premium, but you cannot operate, certainly with peace of mind, without it. So my advice to you is, as somebody that has lived a life and moved country and built a business here in the States as well as in the UK, one way or another, you've got to have it. And find somebody like Craig. Look up Craig and grasp the nettle, as we Brits say, because and get to grips with it, because it will help you if life chucks you a curveball. Okay, so Thank you very much, Craig. Great to see you today. And
likewise.
All right, and I'll see you soon in our next.
Bye-bye, Ross. Have a good day.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks for listening to the Shergroupie podcast. To join our Shergroupie community, subscribe by going to our website at www.shergroup.com. Keep up with the latest Shergroup news across all our main channels, including YouTube, LinkedIn, and across all social media. Stay connected and begin building more business relationships.